In that debate, John McCain was mostly offering more of the same. Same tax policies as George Bush, same health care policy as George Bush, same Iraq policy as George Bush. But then, because I think he was realizing that the same old isn't going over so well here in Ohio because people are kind of fed up with doing the same old thing, he decided he would offer what he said was a new idea to help deal with the financial crisis, and that was to have the government buy up bad mortgages throughout America. Now, first of all, this idea wasn't particularly new. For the last several weeks, I've been talking about the need to help homeowners prevent foreclosure. The Secretary of Treasury already received the authority to buy up those bad mortgages in the rescue package. I proposed it myself because if it's properly done and limited in scope, then it can help innocent homeowners stay in their homes, but still be a good deal for taxpayers. Because what I also said at the time was that it shouldn't be used as a way to reward banks and lending institutions who made careless loans. We shouldn't be a bailout for the high-rolling real estate speculators. Taxpayers shouldn't be asked to pick up the tab for the very folks who helped create this crisis. But that's exactly what Senator McCain's plan does. When he woke up Wednesday, we found out that he wants actually for the government to pay the full face value of mortgages that are on the books, even though they're not worth that much anymore. So let's say you had a mortgage for $100,000, but your house now was only worth $75,000. You know what McCain would do is we would buy that mortgage for $100,000, and guess what? That means taxpayers lose $25,000 right off the bat. It's a plan that would guarantee that American taxpayers lose because we'd be handing over, according to John McCain, $300 billion to underwrite the kind of greed and irresponsibility that on Wall Street that got us into this mess in the first place. Now, it'd be one thing if this was just one example of him lurching all over the place. But this is just the latest in a series of shifting positions that Senator McCain has taken on this issue. His first response to this crisis in March was that homeowners shouldn't get any help at all. That's what he said in March. Then a few weeks ago, he put out a plan that basically ignored homeowners. Now, in the course of 12 hours, he's ended up with a plan that punishes taxpayers, rewards banks, and won't solve our housing crisis. You know what? Here's my point, Cincinnati. You can't afford that kind of erratic, uncertain leadership in these uncertain times. We need a steady hand in the White House. We need a president we can trust in times of crisis. And that's the kind of president I intend to be. That's why I'm running for president of the United States of America. Now, make no mistake, Ohio, we do have to help innocent home buyers. That's why I've worked on a series of proposals over the past 2 years to do that. But we need to do it in a responsible way. That means making sure we're not overpaying for these mortgages and rewarding the lenders and the bankers whose recklessness caused the crisis. It means giving taxpayers a share of the benefits when our housing market recovers. It means doing what I proposed more than 2 years ago and cracking down on predatory lenders by treating mortgage fraud like the crime that it is. And we also have to make sure that if the Treasury moves forward with its plan to put more money into struggling banks, which it may need to do, then taxpayers will be able to get their money back, and the CEOs who contributed to this crisis will not get rich as a result. You know, some of you heard about, did you hear about these AIG executives? Here we are, we give them some help. to keep their business afloat, and they take a junket for over $400,000? Twice. Come on now. They should return to Washington right. If I was president, I would order them back. And I want a check for the taxpayers, and they would be fired on the spot. I'll also help homeowners by changing our bankruptcy laws so they help ordinary folks. I don't know if people are aware of this, but the law right now lets bankruptcy judges write down your mortgage. If you get into trouble, you can write down your mortgage on your second home, on your third home, your fourth home, fifth and sixth and seventh home, but they won't let you write it down on your first home. Now, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Why would you help somebody who's got 7 homes, but not help the person who's only got 1 house? You know, that might help John McCain sleep easier tonight, but it won't do anything for people like you. If you're more like most people, you own 1 home. And that's why if I'm president, I'm going to make sure those judges can write down your mortgage too. And by the way, that doesn't cost taxpayers a dime. It's just making sure that our laws are fair. So here's the larger point that I'm making. This election is about who's going to fight for you.